that's a lot of information to take in, and super relevant for what I'm going to go into now. So I'm Martin John, and if you wanted to find me, I can be found anywhere. A simple Google search, Bing even, I come up first. As long as you spell it properly, and that's going to be important moving forward in all of your social media kind of interactions. So how many of you have a Twitter account? Okay. And Facebook? And YouTube? All right. I work with video quite a bit, and artist statements are moving to video a lot. Increasingly, let's say, because people enjoy seeing you and seeing your work, and people don't really sit down and read things. And most of your artist statement are probably on your website. How many of you have websites? Okay. I'm going to ask this later. Okay, so uploading and sharing. Like, this is one of the keys to working with YouTube, and I'm going to just talk about YouTube a little bit at first. And it's interesting that that most of you, or a lot of you, don't have social media accounts. So I feel a little out of sorts, only because like I want to talk about like utilizing video within your social media strategy. I think I should alter that to having a social media strategy. So I'm going to go through this. I think I'm going to kind of alter some things, so some things might not. Some things, we might not use some slides, but so now with YouTube is so easy to use, and you can get your point across so easily. Most of you have a studio that you work in, and you can easily market your paintings with video and images on YouTube. And it's really easy. Just take a picture. You can upload it to YouTube as a 20-second video. You can record yourself directly with a camera that's on your laptop or on your computer, and explain what it is you're doing in your studio while you're working. There's a lot of fancy things out there, but I started with an investment of less than $100 doing Chicago Arts. Chicago Arts is a video format interview series that I do with artists, gallery owners, and collectors all around Chicago, and I've been working with for about 4 years. So I would always say it's a good idea to take into consideration social media. Now, it's definitely not necessarily for everybody, but I do want to talk about how social media has become an easy way of working with one another. So if you're part of Facebook, you can easily update your Twitter account with Facebook without having to go to both. You can easily go from Flickr and upload everything. Does anybody know what Flickr is? People know what Flickr is? Flickr is a imaging hosting website, so you can put your pictures on Flickr, and then you have a link to your picture on the internet that you can put out on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and everywhere else, so you can get people to see your work. How many of you have at least one studio visit a month? One. How many of you have at least one studio visit a year? Okay, so how many of you have your painting in front of 10 people, one of your paintings in front of 10 people a month? Means you have a show, or you have, and some of you might not have paintings, your work. Are you all artists, by the way? Yes? Okay. Now, I'm just going to say I'm an artist, and at some point it's a numbers game. Okay? You need to get your work in front of X number of people to sell one piece. Now, if you're not interested in selling, this is not social media and stuff. This is not an issue. But that's just a business. We have a business, and we have to run that business. And I utilize social media to get my work in front of people. And I'm also an arts promoter with Chicago Arts. I go out and I interview artists, and I take that interview, edit it down, and post it on YouTube. And again, these aren't going to really be super helpful. But here we can see, like, when I upload a picture to YouTube, I don't know if you can read this, but Facebook, Twitter, Reader, Buzz, Orkut, and MySpace are all connected to my YouTube account. So as soon as I upgrade to YouTube, upload a video to YouTube, every one of those social media sites gets updated. Yes, I have a MySpace account. I do not visit MySpace on a monthly basis, but I have a MySpace account, and guess what video is going to be there? Every video I post is going to go to MySpace. And the people that still use MySpace that I'm connected to are going to see that video because they might not be using Facebook. They might not be using Twitter. I want to reach as many people as I possibly can with my work.
Does that mean it's better to go with YouTube because it will go to all these places? Or
We'll talk about that in a minute. Or 10, 15 minutes. YouTube and Vimeo and Blip and all of these video websites, any video you put out, any image you put out, you guys have paintings, and I'm sure, and other sculptures and installations and all of that. And none of that, none of your videos, none of your pictures, none of your documentation has any information that can be searched on the web. If you upload a picture to Flickr, none of that can be found. Even if someone searched for an image, if you don't attach text to that, it might as well not be there. So we want to utilize searchable information. And computers don't know anything. They only know how you spell something. And maybe that's spelled wrong, because they know if that's an S and if that's an E and if that's an A. They don't know what it says. Does anybody know the story of the Chinese Room Project? The Chinese Room story? They put you in a room and told you how to organize these letters, which are Chinese letters, but you don't know that. It'll say something. And that's the basic premise of like a computer. A computer doesn't know what it says. It just knows how you told it to put it together. And it's a long, long kind of story. You can look it up. It's a fun little read. So the searchable information that we are dealing with all of our content that we as artists put on the internet are titles, descriptions, and tags. Sometimes these tags is called metadata. Okay, M-E-T-A, data. And that's just searchable data, keyword phrases, things of that nature. And we'll get to it. So titles of your artwork. Now, you can have a title in your artwork in the description without having the title of your artwork actually be the title of the picture, depending on what you want people to get out of it. You can easily, how many of you have opened a top 10 list on the internet? Nobody's read a top 10 list? No one's ever read like the top 3 things you can do to be healthy this summer? No? Okay, I'm a sucker for those. Okay, because it's 3 things that I can do to get healthy this summer. I don't even get emails anymore, really. Like, most of my emails are trash. I work almost solely on social media, and emails are really, they are so slow in my world. Like, to wait for a response, are you kidding me? I can direct message someone on Twitter and get a response like that. And that's how fast things are moving today. But yeah, emails, I don't open emails that say anything unless it's from someone I know. But I'm a sucker for interesting titles that pull me in and say, hey, this is a picture of of, this is a picture of something. Your titles might be a little more confusing. It might not say what it is people are going to get. And so like if you were to title something like, I don't know, like something like flowery, like Blue Mist in the Summer, like people might not click on that, especially if they see a small picture of it and don't have a real grasp of what they're looking at. But if you title it something a little more specific or generic, depending on who your audience is, painting of, or acrylic painting by, depending on, or you can even, like if you wanted to say, oh look, this is like Mark Rothko. Okay, now we're gonna pull in reference. And then I can go and I can read the description, and in the description I can see the title. But you wanna know the popular titles within your genre. So if you're painting acrylic painting, what acrylic paintings are being looked at, and what acrylic paintings are you finding easily on the internet? You're gonna wanna maybe alter your titles a little bit to kind of fit that mold so you can get more people to see your work. Again, if you guys don't have 10 people looking at your work within a year, it's going to be hard to make sales and make a living and feel good about the work you're making. I know as an artist that if I don't see some success or get a pat on the back every now and again, it's hard for me to make work continuously without being confused about the direction I'm going. Does anybody agree with that statement? Now I need some reassurance every now and again. Now on the internet, I can get some really lame comments that are not nice. All right? But I have created, I have built myself up, what's the word? It's, reputation. I've built up a reputation online of being someone that's an expert. All the marketing books that I read before I got into social media was like, create yourself, make yourself an expert, I'm like, make myself an expert? What the heck? How do you make yourself? Either you are or you're not, right? And I'm not, I'm just a kid. No, that was before social media, so I was younger. But what ended up happening was that, no, I accidentally, through social media, made myself an expert within the arts in Chicago, and by making these videos and by talking about things, and that's how it kind of built up. And again, I'm going back and forth between a lot of things because I don't, like, the talk I planned, I'm realizing is not going to be as helpful. So I do want to talk about searchable information though, so we're going to continue. Descriptions. Most people, if they're, and this was written for a YouTube audience, or an audience that utilizes YouTube, and there's not too many. The first sentence when you're going through videos, you can see the first sentence, and so that needs to be able to pull people in. It's kind of like grant writing. You got to make sure you get people's attention. Who's going to watch your video if they're not interested in the first sentence that you wrote about your video? Because that's the one they're going to see. As you're scanning through things, you see a title, and then you see the first sentence. When you go to Google, you get the title and where what you searched for is. Now, if you look for art, how many people get the art, like martial arts, or the art of cooking, or the art of, like, oh my God, I can't stand that. Every time I look for art, I get, third page is when I finally start getting into painting, so I have to search for paintings. But I don't want just paintings, I want art. And so this description that you're writing is where you can kind of start putting that, so people can be sure they are looking, they have found what they're looking for in your work. Descriptions should be kind of like a blog post. Does anybody have a blog? That's a stretch. Yeah. So it should kind of be like a blog post in and of itself. Now, a blog post only has to be 3 or 4 sentences, but it should contain a link. Why do we want to contain links? Because the people we link to may very well link back to us. The internet is based on you giving information about other people and those people giving information about you. And if that doesn't exist, you are not searchable. The more links you have, the higher up on your, does anybody know what the term SEO means? Okay, so search engine optimization. Oh, sure. There you go. I want to write that down. How many of you are members? CAC members? Most of you? Okay. If you want, I can like maybe post this on YouTube or something so you can get it yourself.
I can share it. I have everybody's
Okay. Yeah, you have everybody's email. We're going to email you this PowerPoint. It's not going to be too useful because I went a route that maybe I should have taken a step back and went a little easier. But these are still good information. Anytime you post something online. And so search engine optimization is, a lot of it at least, is based on the attention you're getting. And if you get people to link to you, then you're getting more interest. And so that's why we want to add a link. And if we add a link in our, like if we post a painting and there's a picture online somewhere that painting is based off of, or hey, this painting, I was thinking of France. Here's a picture of France that's on Flickr that I saw. Like, you should probably just mention that in your post. It's a lot of people are afraid of giving up too much information online. How many of you are afraid of being online? Of just like giving out too much information? Just one. You're the only one, dear. Oh, 2, 3, okay. Okay, all right. Like popcorn, this is great, a little bit, okay. Yeah, we're moving forward. It should have, like, use descriptions to build relationships and traffic to other sites. You want to build traffic to other sites because those sites will then look at you and say, hey, you're an expert because you like me, right? Like, we all want a little pat on the back. And I'll call you an expert if you called me an expert. It's a little scratch, you know. Guidelines for tags. Possibly. Does anybody know who owns YouTube? Anybody? Google. So how do you think, who should you look to if you want to optimize your searchability on YouTube? Probably Google. They use the same sort of algorithm on Google that they do on YouTube. So they use keywords. They use spiders that go through and find all the little keywords that you use and words and phrases that align your video to other topics and other videos. How many of you visited YouTube and watched videos for like 2 hours once and just lost track of time just watching little videos, little 5-minute videos? Okay, 1. Wow, you guys, how many of you have a computer? Can I see a show of hands? 3? Okay, 4? Okay, there we go. Okay.
It just seems like such a waste of time.
Yeah, exactly.
If I had lost 2 hours sitting there watching I would have felt, what happened? What did I do? I could have been doing this, and this.
Yeah, I felt like that in school. So what happens is, no, it is, and it's all about where you want to go. Okay, if I want to be successful in the arts, I can go to school and learn about the arts. Now, I didn't go to school for the arts. I am just a painter. Okay. I got out of high school. I went to a trade school for painting for 2 years, and then I said, that's not for me. And I painted. That's what I do. Now, in that, I was going to be a painter, and I didn't have, a school's backing me or anything. I had to learn all these little things, and that's how I got into social media. So 1.5 years after YouTube started, I got onto YouTube and said, you know what, this is a good resource for me to go out and do studio visits with artists and learn about what they do. And when I did that, I made friends with other artists. And I helped make, like, how many people would like to be featured on a video on the internet somewhere? Well, who wouldn't? 2 people. I don't know. But I would like someone to take interest in me, you know, an interest in my work and what I do. And so by me going out and doing what I wanted people to do but wasn't happening, I fulfilled a niche that I saw needed to be filled. And I love YouTube. Man, I wanted to be a part of that, let me tell you, because there were all of these cool things. But since Google has bought YouTube, now this whole algorithm of like finding similar videos is out there. And so if you find a video that's similar to yours, you can go and just borrow their keywords and put them into your video. That's what I do, because I want all the people watching, like there's 6,000 people that watch this abstract painters video. Well, I just interviewed an abstract painter, so they have a couple keywords that I'm going to use, and they're all relevant. This is a big important thing. You can't use, you don't want to use keywords that aren't relevant, because then your reputation is there for everybody to see for all of time. Okay. So you want to like search for videos and search for paintings that are similar to yours and connect with other artists and give links back and forth.
Did you say that the spiders are looking at, are searching for words in videos and they connect to those? Not in
search.
What do you mean by that? How would the spiders find them?
They're just called spiders. How do they find them?
No, but I mean, if those are words in the video
It's not
that,
in the video.
Not
it's in
in-
the search. It's in the searchable tags, in the descriptions, and in the title.
where would that be on a video though?
Where would that be?
Oh, on the title of it.
Right, you know, when they say, now add a title, and you say, oh, I don't have time for that. And then they say, add a description, and like, I don't need to do that. And then they say tags, and you're like, I don't know what that is. And then just press upload. And then you upload your picture, and then there it is, and no one looks at it, and you're like, what the hell, this just doesn't work.
Oh, I see. Okay. Gotcha.
So other components to consider. Now, when we look online, we always kind of judge ourselves to the world around us, right? And so we say, why did they have all these views and I don't have any? One time, someone contacted me and said, hey, I did this great video of this artist and it has 2,300 views. And I said, whoa, 2,300 views, that's a lot. So I checked it out. And then I did a quick little, I went down and I said, give me more information about this video. And there wasn't any tags, and it wasn't done, it wasn't organized very well. And so I checked the stats. It got 12 views, and then it had nothing for like 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden, in one day, it had 2,300 views. Because they probably used a program called Reload Every, which reloads the page every X amount of seconds, and they did it in one day, and it was able to reload every second, and then that contributed as a view. Or they used something similar to that to boost the amount of views, and so that's false. And so what do you think I think of his reputation online? Not so savvy.
So just back up a second there. Again, why? Why is it not savvy? Why?
Because I know. Like, if you were to sell me, hey, look, this painting is this great, and it's got this many people interested in it, and I come back and I do a little research and find out that you're a liar, what do you think your reputation is? That's what happened. Like, I found out he was a liar. He lied to me because he said it has 2,300 views, but it didn't. He gave it 2,300 views. He padded it. And he's now, and we'll talk more. We'll talk later. Okay. So this is where the time management comes in. If you're going to spend X amount of time making a video or making a painting, you want to give it that, you want to respect that work by taking your time and titling it, giving it adequate tags, and giving it a description that's worthy of the piece. You don't want to just put it online and then.
Tags a little bit, because that's something I don't know what, why.
We'll talk about that during the Q&A a little bit. Now, going viral, I'm not one for going viral because most of the things that have gone viral, I mean, I don't even know who they are. I don't know if I'm following them, and some things go viral huge, like this Bing thing, but I don't use Bing, so, you know. And you hear about it, but you're not really connected to it. And so I don't, the term viral used to be people watch things and then they sent it to their friends and then it would spread. Now, YouTube set up a thing that says, hey, what's being watched a lot? Send that straight to the media. They have a whole channel set up for this, and then the media can announce it and then it goes viral. Like, viral. It's a term used by the media to keep the media more exciting and keep the television news more exciting and keep you interested in what they're doing. And so I don't buy the whole viral thing. 36 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. A little bit of information that has always astounded me. And viral videos supporting business, just like this Bing operation. And so like they said, they went out and found somebody that they could do business with, and they said, we're going to help this spread. And so individuals, artists, and like Jay-Z or other people, Scion used social media when they launched really, really well by utilizing artists and cell phones and designers and stuff start getting branded and stuff within that, and that's part of the whole like viral movement. Just trying to up something that may or may not. So here's it's a handful of video sharing sites. So places you can upload your videos. This is a lot. YouTube, Vimeo, and Flickr are probably the ones that you know of. And all of the other ones, some of them you have to have videos that are good enough to be on there. Some of them you have to, like be members of and whatnot. But if you upload to Vimeo, YouTube, and Flickr, you pretty much cover the gamut. Some of these other ones are about specific things.
Like art?
Yeah, like art. Vimeo. Vimeo would be like the art one. Yeah, Vimeo, Vimeo. So this is a selection of like how to contact me, and I don't know, again, it's all about brand recognition. I'm Martin John, Jon, one word, like capital M, capital J, like that's how I do that thing. And so my Flickr, my website, my Google, Vimeo, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all of that, it all relates back to how to contact me. If you were to search me, you would find me on probably most, if not all of those within the first 2 pages. So we're gonna cut now, and I'll take questions, and I'm sure.